A Navy sex investigation leads to a dramatic shakeup at the Pentagon. In Los Angeles, an international watchdog group calls police brutality a human rights scandal. And Eye on America, tonight, television, telephones, and people power. Why presidential campaigns may never be the same.
It's the first time I've ever heard anybody speak to the people.
This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. I'm Edie Magnus, sitting in tonight for Dan Rather. The U.S. Navy's top civilian resigned today, the first high-level casualty in a sex abuse scandal. Navy Secretary Lawrence Garrett said he takes full responsibility for the handling of the so-called tailhook incident. Garrett was present at the Convention of Navy Pilots last year, where 26 women say they were sexually assaulted. David Martin has the latest.
Navy Secretary Lawrence Garrett resigned today in the midst of a sexual abuse scandal which has brought the Navy to a virtual standstill. It happened last September at the Las Vegas Hilton during a convention of Navy and Marine Corps pilots. Lieutenant Paula Coughlin made the mistake of attending a cocktail party which turned into a gauntlet.
The man who originally fell in behind me reached over my shoulders, put his hands down my blouse and my shirt. And I fell down to a squatting position just to get his hands out of my shirt. And while I was down and crouched, there were people grabbing at my clothes. It was at that point I knew I was in way over my head. There were too many people. There were too many people grabbing. I mean, now I'm sobbing, and I'm convinced that if I don't get out of this hallway, I'm going to be gang raped.
Coughlin finally escaped through an open door.
The only object I had in my mind was to get out of that hotel, and then I got mad, and I talked about, I can't believe those guys. I cannot believe that just happened. And the more I thought about it, the more angry I got.
The next morning, she told her boss, Rear Admiral Jack Snyder.
He said, that's what you get. That's what you've got to expect when you walk down a hallway full of drunk aviators. And that's not what you get. It took me a long time to figure it out.
Coughlin went over her boss's head, and finally the Secretary of the Navy ordered an investigation which produced this massive report, but very few culprits. The investigators ran into a stone wall of silence and lies from male pilots.
They do not have the right to refuse to be photographed, to shield their subordinates from lawful inquiries or investigations, or to lie or mislead investigators.
The cover-up prompted the Senate Armed Services Committee to freeze the promotions of more than 4,500 Navy and Marine Corps officers. It prompted Coughlin to go public.
They should do the right thing. Those men who know they are guilty have the opportunity to just step forward and leave the armed services.
Secretary Garrett said he accepted full responsibility for the leadership failure which allowed such misconduct to occur, and he also said Lieutenant Coughlin has done the Navy a great service by putting a human face on this problem. Edie?
David, there's also some late news tonight about the situation in what used to be Yugoslavia. What's that all about?
That's right. The Secretary General of the United Nations has said that the UN is about to give the Serbian forces in Yugoslavia 48 hours to cease fire, or else the UN will consider other means for delivering relief supplies to the besieged city of Sarajevo. For those other means, the U.S. military is prepared to provide air support for a forced relief operation of Sarajevo. No U.S. troops would go in on the ground. This decision was made this afternoon at a meeting with the President and his advisors, and it represents a major change in policy, both for the United Nations and for the U.S., which until now has said it was only willing to deliver humanitarian supplies after a ceasefire had been established. Going in without the benefit of a ceasefire obviously makes it a much more dangerous operation.
David Martin at the Pentagon. Thanks. The human rights group Amnesty International charged today that the Los Angeles Police Department has an appalling record of brutality. The group says that officers often shoot and beat people who pose little or no threat to them, even after the Rodney King beating. Ron Allen has details.
The report is a scathing international indictment of both the Los Angeles Police and Sheriff's Departments. Amnesty International, which usually investigates third world dictatorships, says police brutality in LA is a human rights scandal in the U.S.
At times, it has amounted to torture, or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment.
Amnesty's report comes as the city considers paying a record multi-million-dollar brutality settlement to Rodney King. But that's just one case in today's report, which says excessive force has gone unchecked in L.A. for years.
They also violated the international standards, which Amnesty International applies in its work on all countries.
The report profiled some 40 victims, such as Caleb Quinn, who suffered a broken leg and multiple bruises when police allegedly beat him while he was handcuffed. But the report says most of the time police use excessive force in African American and Latino neighborhoods. And it lashed out at both departments' canine units for allowing dogs to bite suspects who are unarmed or wanted only for minor offenses.
You can't have a democracy with an undemocratic police department running rampant over rights.
The Amnesty report said the excessive force problem here also undermines the nation's credibility when it tries to promote human rights abroad. It faulted top police leaders, saying cops are rarely disciplined or brought to justice.
Those people are liberals, do-nothings, they have a lousy record.
Chief Daryl Gates defended his record and left a few more words to remember him by as he left headquarters for the last time today.
They're a bunch of knucklehead liberals.
His troops gave the departing chief a hero send-off. Incoming Chief Willie Williams, who will begin work on Tuesday, took an oath of office in private to ensure a smooth transition of power. Ron Allen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The U.S. Supreme Court says state-run colleges in Mississippi are still segregated, and the justices ordered the state today to do more for black students. CBS News law correspondent Rita Braver has more on the court's decision.
Public universities in Mississippi are still mostly black or mostly white. And today, the Supreme Court ordered the state to try to change that.
All along, we were correct in that the state has been discriminatory.
The court said Mississippi had not done enough to end the official segregation policy used to block James Meredith from attending Ole Miss 30 years ago. The state had insisted any student could now go to any school, that racial separation was merely a matter of personal preference.
By and large, the traditional choices of young people in our state have sent them in the direction of historically white and or historically black institutions.
But the court sided with black students, saying Mississippi still encourages segregation, and suggested the state could make it easier for blacks to get into white schools and give black schools funding and programs that will attract whites.
There is a continuing obligation on the part of states to do better and to do more to address those vestiges of the discriminatory system and to correct the wrong.
The Bush administration was on the winning side in this case, but has lost some big ones this term. For example, when the court refused to allow prayer at public school graduations, struck down government sting operations against innocent victims, like this Nebraska farmer caught in a pornography sting, and allowed women, like Christina Franklin, to sue for monetary damages in sex discrimination cases. Ironically, while the court is clearly dominated by conservatives, key moderate votes in some decisions have come from 3 Reagan-Bush appointees: Sandra Day O'Connor, Anthony Kennedy, and David Souter.
We're talking about people who are cautious, conservative, but don't want to shake things up in a dramatic way. Perhaps not as dramatically as some of the far-right had hoped they would.
But the most controversial case of the term, and the one this court is likely to be remembered for, has yet to be decided: abortion. That's expected Monday. Rita Braver, CBS News at the Supreme Court.
Coming up next on tonight's CBS Evening News, we'll have another important Supreme Court decision in a free speech case. And later, Eye on America. Tonight, the presidential election, up in the air and down to the wire.
To survive out here, you need a rifle, a friend like Elvis here, and of course, Domino's Pizza.
It's our 99-cent carry-out special. With any regular price pizza, get a one-topping medium for 99 cents.
Nobody knows like Domino's, right, Elvis?
How you like pizza at home?
For 2 days only, every gallon of paint is on sale at Sears. All interior, all exterior. Save 10 to 33% on every brand. All from the paint store you can count on. Sears. But hurry, sale ends Saturday.
Your breakfast, sir. This new Kellogg's Frosted Bran is quite sensible. Crispy flakes with whole wheat and bran, lightly frosted for a taste that's delicious. I love it. I love it. I love it. And new Kellogg's Frosted Bran has less sugar than you'd imagine, but the taste, it's out of.
We've got to stop serving this. New Kellogg's Frosted Bran, wildly delicious, sensibly good.
The Supreme Court ruled today that political and religious groups have no right to solicit money in airport terminals. But the court said these groups do have some constitutional protection at the airports. Bruce Morton reports.
The Hare Krishnas used to throng the airports in groups or singly, buttonholing passengers asking for money.
We ask those people just to give a donation just for a cause to help out. Just give a little contribution, just do whatever you can.
Some passengers wanted to react the way Robert Stack did in the movie Airplane.
Donation for the Reverend Moon.
Instead, in 1975, the New York Port Authority banned such groups from the airports it controls. The Krishna Society went to court, and today a sharply divided Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that the government could bar groups from asking for money. But it also ruled 5-4 that simply handing out leaflets was legal under the First Amendment.
This decision is a continuation of a trend in which this Supreme Court is increasingly willing to defer to government regulation of speech in a variety of contexts.
The ban in airports would apply to all kinds of groups, political, religious, the homeless, and it might cover other government facilities like train stations.
It certainly opens up the door to be applied to other facilities.
But only government facilities, and with the court upholding a ban on soliciting but saying leafleting is legal, interpreting today's decisions isn't easy. Justice O'Connor, announcing the various rulings and dissents this morning, said, now if anybody can figure that out, they're doing well. Bruce Morton, CBS News, Washington.
The nation's biggest airport is bracing for record crowds over the 4th of July weekend. Officials at Chicago's O'Hare Airport say they expect up to 250,000 travelers per day, most of them using discount tickets from the recent airline fare war. Now, from around the world, more CBS News. In France, angry farmers blocked the entrance to Euro Disneyland. It was an anti-American protest. They blamed the United States for forcing cuts in European farm subsidies. Up in space, the Columbia astronauts launched a blob of water, an experiment to study how water behaves in the absence of gravity. It floats. All over the United States, trains were rolling again today after Congress passed a back-to-work order ending a 2-day rail strike. Both freight and passenger lines are expected to be back to full service in the next couple of days. And on Florida's Gulf Coast, hundreds of people were evacuated from their homes after heavy rain caused severe flooding. As much as 20 inches of rain has fallen on some areas during the past 2 days. The CBS Evening News continues in a moment with our Money Crunch report. Tonight, it could happen to you. An insurance investment goes bad, closing the door on a family's dream house.
Let's make good seasons. It's so much better when you make it fresh.
I'll say.
Good seasons. You make it fresh, you make it best.
Ordinary pickles are cooked and limp. Not Claussen. They're packed fresh and stored cold, so they're always crisp and delicious. Taste the difference. Cold, crisp, Claussen.
Rebate. Now's the time to buy built-to-last appliances from Frigidaire, because you'll find big rebates on Frigidaire refrigerators, washers, ranges, and more. Like this energy-efficient refrigerator with CFC reduced insulation. It has adjustable gallon-deep bins, so big and tall things stay out of the way. Plus lots of adjustable glass shelves and clear view compartments. Best of all, it's not just a fridge, it's a Frigidaire. So hop on over to your Frigidaire dealer and pick up something new for your pan. Rebate.
You've driven these streets 1,000 times. But tonight, there's something different. Tonight, you're using Exxon 93 Supreme gasoline for a cleaner engine, smooth acceleration, and a full 93 octane.
Let the tiger set you free.
Rely on Exxon Supreme.
What is Sunday without 60 Minutes? Terrible. So we're going to spend the summer giving you a second look at the stories you loved the first time around.
Americans made more money and spent more money last month. The Commerce Department says income grew a modest 0.3%, while spending rose 0.5%. The experts say that's not enough money changing hands to give the economy the boost it needs. Investors looking for a safe haven for their money have often stayed away from the stock market and steered their money instead to insurance policies. But hard times in the insurance business have changed the rules of the game. Ray Brady explains in tonight's report on the money crunch, making it in America.
What had you planned for this house, Mrs. Chamness?
Gene and Jesse Chamness planned this to be their dream house. Using $33,000 they had saved in an annuity to finish the inside of the house.
You must say to yourself, we should be in here.
I do, every day.
But the insurance company had transferred their policy to another insurer that went broke and had no money.
Most insurance companies are always liable, and we never dreamed that we're going to get in this shape and couldn't get our money.
Without the annuity money, the Chamnesses must live in this workshop out back. They don't have the funds to finish their dream house. Jesse and Jean Chamness bought their annuity from a company here in Little Rock, but they are not alone. Although some companies don't do it. Every year, thousands and thousands of policies for health insurance, for life insurance, and for annuities are traded among insurance companies, even though many policyholders don't know it. Aetna Life transferred 108,000 health policies last year, and Mutual of New York traded more than 60,000 life insurance policies to other firms. The insurers say transferring policies can sometimes help keep a company healthy.
Assumption reinsurance, as it is called, benefits the consumer because it assures that the consumer's insurance protection will continue uninterrupted.
But does it really help policyholders? Ask Joseph Bell. He writes a consumer insurance newsletter.
In many instances, the transfers are not in the best interest of the policy owner because the acquiring company is financially much weaker than the transferring company.
Most insurers send you a letter about the transfer. Look for the words assumption reinsurance. But most letters never say you can just say no. You can write your insurer and say you don't want to be transferred. That can save a lot of heartache. The Chamnesses have been told they will be paid. But so far, they've waited 4 years for the money that could make this house a home. Ray Brady, CBS News, The Money Crunch.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, questions about government involvement in a massacre that stunned South Africa.
We Americans have some very particular ideas of what we want in our cars and trucks.
I feel like the car's like wrapped around.
One company gets input from customers at every stage of new product development to find out exactly what they're looking for. That may be why 5 of the top 10 selling vehicles in America are built by the same company, Ford Motor Company.
With your help, our quality gets better all the time.
Ford Motor Company. Quality is job one.
It's working.
It's working.
I need a laxative that can work dependably.
Doxadan can.
But can it be gentle?
Doxadan can. Doxadan works dependably overnight with a special ingredient for gentle relief.
Dependable, yes. Gentle, yes.
Doxadan can.
If you want to paint like a professional painter, you need to develop all 5 senses. Your sense of color, your sense of balance, your sense of pride and craftsmanship, and most importantly, your sense of direction. There's only one paint this good, and there's only one place you can get it. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Your rugged routine, day after day. It's even harder when Athlete's Foot routinely comes back. Get prescription strength Lotrimin AF. It kills all causes of Athlete's Foot. Lotrimin AF, the finish line for Athlete's Foot.
They're toughing it out at the top of the NL West. Neon Deion Sanders ignites the Braves against the Reds. Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern on CBS.
A South African commission heard explosive testimony today about military involvement in last week's Black Township massacre. A black security guard said the slaughter was carried out by a secret terror squad organized and paid by the white minority government. CBS News correspondent Martha Teichner is in South Africa.
Witnesses to the Boipatong massacre have said all along that the South African security forces took part in a nighttime orgy of killing in which more than 40 people died, a charge the government emphatically denies. But today, the shock accusation that the massacre was carried out by some of these men, members of Kufut. The word means crowbar in Afrikaans. One of the deadliest and most ruthless commando units the South African government ever put together, Kufut was supposedly disbanded 2 years ago.
Kufut has a terrible reputation. Their hands are full of blood. They use very, very dirty tricks to achieve their aims.
If true, it is devastating new evidence that the South African government does indeed have a double agenda. It would be the worst possible kind of embarrassment for President F.W. de Klerk right now. So today, the South African police announced the arrest of 6 men with no connection at all to the security forces, and again denied involvement.
I wish to emphasize that the police investigation has produced no evidence whatsoever, which might indicate the involvement of former Kufut members in the Boipatong incident.
The police in the future...
Tonight, appearing on a radio show, Cyril Ramaphosa, Secretary General of the African National Congress, was skeptical.
If this is proven to be true, it is virtually finished with this government.
This new crisis of confidence will make it that much harder to restart talks between the ANC and the government, even though talks are the only way to prevent Boipatong from becoming just a rehearsal for more massacres. Martha Teichner, CBS News, Johannesburg.
Never seen nothing like it. I mean, Rusty Slade was an ornery sort. Always ate his old bran flakes just for fiber. But one morning, I gave him Kellogg's new complete bran flakes. Weren't the same. More than fiber, they had whole grain wheat. Flakes were new too, crispy, crunchy. Why, that Kellogg's complete bran flakes even had a better nutty taste. It was all so good, made Rusty smile. Almost. New Kellogg's complete bran flakes. Fiber and then some.
In our universe, there was always the unknown, the unpredictable. All we can do is prepare for it.
AT&T is now installing Fast Start. It can detect a cable cut instantly, so 800 calls can get back in minutes instead of hours.
We can send files for any occasion, anywhere, but only if our 800 service is up and running. Our 800 service isn't just a phone line, it's a lifeline.
I miss you.
AT&T has the most reliable 800 service, period.
AT&T. Call us.
Of 144 different import and domestic cars, only the elite make J.D. Power and Associates top 10 models and initial quality list. That list now includes the Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. We believe it reflects the commitment of the people who make it and the dealers who sell it, as well as the wisdom of the people who bought it. Cutlass Sierra from Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
If you took the most effective diarrhea medicine and shaped it into a caplet, you'd have Imodium AD caplets, the only caplet that often stops diarrhea in one dose. Imodium AD caplets, the original prescription for one-dose relief.
If you're under a physician's care for high blood pressure, ulcers, or asthma, then your choice of a non-prescription pain reliever is especially important. For millions of people like you, the one doctors recommend most is Tylenol.
Nevada today became the 17th state to put Ross Perot's name on the November ballot. In tonight's Eye on America, we conclude our special week-long look at Perot, a man who may have changed the way candidates run for president. Bob McNamara reports on the call-in campaign of Ross Perot.
I don't know what to think.
I care. I care very much.
They're just not coming across to me.
If you vote for me, you'll have fun again.
We're not really getting the true picture.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I wanted to ask a question, Mr. Perot.
How are you?
Fine.
He has turned the campaign into a national conference call.
All political candidates are dishonest.
Dialing in the disillusioned.
Things have just been really, really bad.
The disenfranchised.
I'm sick and tired of a lot of the politicians.
And the disgusted.
They just don't seem to be listening.
Thank you.
They are listening now.
Well, all the pros said you couldn't do it, but you've done it.
What the Perot campaign has done is combine in a new way advanced technology and old-fashioned salesmanship.
Just in plain Texas talk, they ain't seen nothing yet.
They ain't seen nothing yet.
Democrat Charlie Conger gathered petition signatures for Perot.
He's talking straight to us. He's not talking down to us. And if I want to call Ross Perot, there it is, right there. 1-800 number. I can get him down there.
Perot Petition Committee, this is Paul. May I help you?
They think they're talking to somebody who probably has Ross's ear. Not quite true, but it's going to get through to the right people.
Perot's phone lines are answered by many who've never volunteered, sometimes didn't vote.
I've never done anything for my country in this way, and this is my opportunity to do something that will count.
While that belief is what powers Perot's volunteers, what connects them is technology. The combination of satellite TV and the telephone may be new to politics, but it's been big business for more than a decade.
I want to commend you all for dialing in so rapidly. You should see the lines still coming through on this.
The Home Shopping Network understands better than anybody the connection between television, the telephone, and the American psyche.
$18 even. You better dial now.
Today in this electronic marketplace, where Perot turned for help in handling his flood of phone calls, conversations with long-distance shoppers provide an earful of American political reality.
I'm not too happy with everything.
I'm not very happy with our president.
The past few years have been just terrible. I don't like Clinton. That I do know.
Way back.
I do not care for Perot. He's too rough, too gruff. I don't know what to think.
He's my kind of man.
Leila Warwick used to vote Republican. This year, she's put her print shop to work for Ross Perot.
We feel like we're going to be a part of it. Whereas for years we've been ignored. It didn't matter what we thought or what we wanted. And I think he's going to ask us what we want.
That's the reason I'm going to this rally today. I've been left out for 12, 15 years. Well, maybe probably longer than that.
For the Congers, Perot's Denver rally was a chance to see in person the man they feel they know from television.
You want to walk up there?
But in politics, even with Perot, access often ends at the TV screen.
I need to get his signature on that.
To obtain information on Ross Perot's upcoming media appearances, press 1.
So far, the rise of Ross Perot says more about the country
We think we need a change.
than it does about the candidate.
I'm very confused.
In Denver, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
And that's the CBS Evening News. I'm Edie Magnus for Dan Rather. I'll see you again tomorrow evening. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This is CBS.